My name is Frank Kojo. What if I told you I stand on good authority to tell you exactly what's going to happen next in this world of ours? In order to tell you everything, I'm going to show you something. What if I also told you that using facts, that pictures or a picture can speak louder than any words? What if I told you that using 3 pictures painted almost 200 years ago, commissioned for a particular purpose? What if I told you that I can show you the first blueprint of the wealthy? What if I told you these 3 pictures will tell you of the past, the present, and what is to come, the future? What if I told you you will recognize everything that's happening today in the first 2 pictures, but the 3rd picture will show you the ultimate plan by the wealthy? But I want you to understand, this is a matter of law, because the wealthy have planned something and they are using the law to contract what they have planned. If you're not aware of the plan and the plan goes through, yet it is legal, then the onus, this is the most widely used legal term that anyone will ever have to get used to. The onus is and was and will always be on you to discover that which has been plotted against you and act accordingly within the confines of the law to correct it. So, without further ado, these 3 pictures were commissioned by a conglomerate of European leaders who at the time were involved in slave trade. The organization that actually commissioned this particular set of paintings in today's world currently is actually the most unheard of organization ever, but secretly and in actuality the richest organization, through the back and the backs of slave trade and commodity stealing and other things. So now that I've opened a bigger picture for you to understand whose blueprints we're looking at, we're looking at the blueprint of the slave master, of the people who want to enslave humanity. Not blacks, not whites. It started from somewhere. But now you cannot sit here and say in the modern world that only black people are slaves. White people are slaves. When the law and when the confines of the law does not protect you, the rich do as they wish with you. And blacks and whites experience the same. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go into it. Picture number 1. As you can see in front of you, it is actually called the past. So there are 3 pictures: the past, the present, and the future. That's what they actually call these 3 pictures: the past, the present, and the future. So we are traveling to the past. In the past, this is what they know happened, and this is what they carried out. They enslaved black people. They stole wealth, tons of wealth from black people. They worked black people to work their own land to bring that wealth up. And then they worked black people to transport the wealth using black people as helpers to enslave black people. Along the way, they realized that their work wasn't fast enough. So they sought spiritual help. Remember, this is around the time that we're being colonized, or we've been colonized, and the Bible is heavily being introduced. But these same people introducing the Bible to Africans are collaborating with Indians. As you can see, to the left side of the picture is an Indian shaman or an Indian spiritualist. In the middle of the picture, the artist takes great care to make sure you understand, or he who or she who understands, to understand what's going on here. There's a lady in the middle, a very beautiful lady, pornographically stripped. If you look very carefully, you're going to realize that you may think it's the tiling, but it's not. The artist has made sure there's a clear division in the center of this woman. A clear division from the tip of her nose going all the way down the mid-rift of her body, separating or denoting that there's 2 sides to this woman. It is obvious, listen carefully, it is obvious that spiritually something great or something mad has been done with this woman. She is special. He displays that by holding her hair to show the quality of her hair. The woman herself is in awe, looking down at the only bit of her body that is shrouded and covered. But something has happened there. Something has happened there. This woman has been part of some sort of spiritual sacrifice. The funny thing is, there are other pictures before we get to these 3 pictures. And those pictures show you the process this woman was put through, which included live burial and sacrifices of other lives and other women to release their spirits into this one body. They are paintings that almost describe the sacrificial process that this woman has been put through. This woman, this living woman, she is for sale in exchange for wealth, gold, diamond. And as you can see on your right, you have the white man dressed in armor. He's a warrior. He's a king. He's shimmering in gold. From his side, on the right side, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 9 slaves, all black. 8 of them are pulling a mountain of gold. It's almost a house size. Almost the same size in length and in width, even more as the slaves themselves. But in weight, so heavy, you can see the strain. You can see the strain. The slaves are going through, pulling it. When you look underneath the gold that's being pulled, you will see they're using logs. So as they pull, someone will pick up the log and take it to the front and replace it. It means there are more slaves being whipped to make sure this goes on. But the procession is they are pulling the gold and themselves towards the side of the Indian man. Whilst the Indian man is displaying his spiritual prize, the woman to the Westerner, who is further on top of the slaves and the big massive chunk of gold, is also offering, watch this, his sword, his golden sword, which has the biggest ruby, diamond encrusted in it. This woman is very special. Her hair is charmed. Take careful notice of that. Her hair is charmed because the Westerner went to find out what you would do and how you would try and take over someone's mind, someone's culture, someone's pride, in order to defeat them spiritually, physically, mentally, and take over them. And they were given a woman. Her hair was charmed, long, straight, and beautiful. That's what they paid for in the past. And how has that transpired? Today, Indian wigs. And what the black women do not understand is it is not just a human hair that's been cut and given to you. It's a human hair. And as you can see, this man, he went to a spiritualist and they paid. This is ancient debt. This is ancient debt. They paid from that day for Indians to make sure they produce hair. They take their own women's hair. They take it in the temples and bless it their way and put their intentions within it. And then they bring it to the black person for the black person to use to cover up her dignity and her beauty, killing her beauty and the essence of her beauty. Mental slavery. This was all in the blueprints from the beginning. This is what they did in the past. Now, we come to the present.